last week.
We are at the Seeds of Gold Farm Clinic. Farmers are exhibiting, farmers are out here to learn and share and experience.
These are pumps which are direct from solar to the pump, or direct from solar to the battery to the pump.
Today we are trying to exhibit the varieties of crops which have traits of resistance to drought, traits of resistance to striga, traits of high yielding, and they are resistant to certain field pests.
Welcome to another exciting episode of NT Seeds of Gold. Maize holds its place as the world's second most sought after grain, just after sunflower, and it's a staple in diets across the globe. Tonight, we take you to a farm that stretches across more than 2 square miles, running a steady operation all year round. How do they pull it off? Well, stay with us and find out.
It's a good day to see what cooperativeness can do for a bunch of youth when they come together, put their minds together and come up with a venture such as this. We're going to look at approximately 2 square miles of maize and the genius behind it, of course, and you know how far they've come. Of course, one of the greatest things is value addition, but another thing as great is export. We are looking at the second most in-demand grain in the country. So stick around, do not go away.
Maize doesn't make loss. We want to introduce a factory that makes oil from corn. Were you aware that even maize can make biscuits? Maize produces very, very good diesel. We want to eat the maize from the roots, to the stem, to the leaves, to the corn, to the cock, to the flowers. Actually, after realizing that this maize is the second richest pollen grain plant after sunflower, we started bees. I want to tell you, we are making a lot of money from just you see that flowering thing? Oruyange. We make a lot of money from Oruyange than from the maize itself.
Obed is fueled by a strong passion, and yes, the money doesn't hurt either. He takes on different ventures with intention, and for him, maize is a smart choice. It moves fast, and the market is always there, as long as you plan carefully and make the right moves. At the end of the day, you've got to be clear about what you're after.
After doing goats massively, having many employees, I told you last time that we have over 1,300 outgrowers. Then we have 13,000 members. Then we have 149 farms. Then we have people in the fields looking for goats. All those people have to eat. You have a budget of, let's say, 10 million on food this year or this month. Before you know it, maize is at 2,000. And guess what? That is a disaster in any business. So what we decided to do was employ our farming. We started with 10 acres, made 100. Now, we started also selling the surplus. Now the surplus became now the point of interest. We are no longer interested in how much we eat. We are interested in how many tons we sell. Currently, each season we sell 300,000 tons. Now, we have maize enough for us to eat throughout the year. We have maize for our animals, maize bran, and we have the mulches, we have the silage, we have the flour, we have the maize itself. This is what usually people throw away. After removing the maize, this is burnt or wasted. But it is here, it can be crushed anytime. I mix it with that coke, I put that, this is rich in fiber. It has a lot of fiber. And I put the protein. It also has, this one has carbohydrates. Then I add the protein and my goats are good to go.
When it comes to maize variety, Obed doesn't hold back. He proudly talks about a strain developed by the YPA, saying it's already working wonders.
But you see my maize, very green. This is YPA breed. We are so sensitive about what we do. We create our own breeds if we want to make money. So we have done research and realized the most maize that we have around is not meant for us to become rich. In this type of maize, I must get at least 20 bags of maize each season, each acre. And each sack is 140 kilograms and above. Chikumi mwana times 20 is the kilograms I harvest from each acre. YPA breed. So, me, I am sensitive. You become a member of YPA. After becoming a member of YPA, you can buy this breed and you can plant. We can actually even manage for you the same way we are managing ours here. We can manage for you. Even those that don't have land, you don't have to buy. Tabayo, who says that whoever drives a car owns a car? Why don't you deploy that system in agribusiness?
When you talk to Mr. Obed, one question comes up almost instantly. How does he manage it all? From overseeing operations, handling a full supervisory role, and still making time for his family? It almost feels like he's mastered the art of balance. When asked about how he pulls it off, Obed has a few lessons to share.
My prayer is not praying to live long. My prayer is to live effectively. I pray to have 5 years in 1 year. That is my prayer. But instead, if there was two options to choose between living long and living effectively, I would live effectively. I don't care if I die today. You have heard of names of people that have done things that should have been done in decades, but they have done it in just 1 year. And that is the life I am looking for. So, of course, as a family man, I sacrifice. I have kids, I have family, I have relatives, but I sacrifice for the reason I want to live effectively. I don't want to live, just live. I am not normal, so I don't live like a normal person. I am not normal, not at all. Actually, I hate being normal. The minute I understand that I'm normal, then I will hate myself for good. I don't have time for jazz. Tunyumiemu kachai, tunyumiemu politics, Arsenal money. I really don't have that time. I only have time to make sure I meet the ends. I don't make ends meet, I meet the ends. And that is only done through how I feed. So I sleep 3 hours a day, work 21 hours a day. I limit my sleep, but I told you, still, you don't need a lot of time to have fun with your wife. Who says you must go on a vacation for a month for your wife to appreciate? Actually, women are so happy if you're leading them. But if you're pursuing them, they leave you and go for those they adore. Women only adore those people or men that don't pursue them but pursue their purpose of living. So I don't pursue my family, I pursue the purpose of living. So my family pursues me. Yes, if I give them 3 minutes, they should value it. Very expensive minutes. So if I give you 3 minutes and you misuse it, that is kwaheri. You will not see it again until next month. That is how I run. Of course, it is a busy time, but again, like I said, since effective is my order of the day, I like being effective than just living ordinary life.
We'll take a short commercial break. When we return, we explore the market strategy in greater detail and take a closer look at the diseases and pests that continue to pose challenges even amid the success. Welcome back. Many maize farmers and Ugandan farmers in general often struggle with unpredictable market prices. Obed noticed this early on and made a deliberate choice to focus on a specific market for his produce.
Yeah, Uganda ebintu byamu byakujeregerera everything is bwekiriba. Let's assume I have not bought the land. I hire the land. After hiring the land, I fence it. After fencing it, I cultivate it. No, before I even cultivate it, I bush clear it. Cultivate it. Number 4, after cultivating, I harrow it, making the soil fine. Then I come and plant. Planting what? Seeds. Which seeds I've bought very expensively. Each kilogram is at 20,000 and above. All together? Then I come and weed. I have maintenance, someone staying here to see that everything is good. Akasanyikaze, simanya bichi. You get? Sometimes we even deploy irrigation. Then after I come and harvest. Harvesting is one of the hardest jobs in what? In maize farming. I harvest, store. I even use the machine to separate cocks from maize grain. All that is money. Then you give me 300. Okay, let's rate those jobs that I've done throughout the 6 months. How much are you paying each job? And they shouldn't allow themselves to go through that pain. Now I refuse to sell my maize at 500, at 400, at 1,000. It is only 1,500 and above, and I have maintained that. You know what mindset I stand in? The mindset I use today to declare that is after analyzing the lion. It doesn't matter the inflation and the political instability in the jungle. Lions will still eat meat. They will not eat grass. So, me, I am a lion. I am not going to accept 300 shillings. Come what may. You will accept 300 when I'm dead. But when I'm alive, no, sir. And this is what my fellow maize farmers should think about. 1, before you even think about the 300, have you the price of the grain? Have you thought of all other residues around? Because if you sell maize bran to the chicken people, broken, Chiro walukumu mu lusambu, 1,700. Sell maize bran. Number 2, the mulches. The mulches. Or silage. Crush it and pack it. People will come buying it, each sack at 20,000. Even if they give you 5,000, that is still money. Then number 2, cocks. Crush them. That is very good supplements for animals. Then also introduce bees. You have seen bees. I have 15,000 beehives. Introduce bees to this mighty crop. Harvest the pollen grain. It will, 1, increase the pollination, but also it will give you money. In my bees, I don't harvest honey. Yes, people do bees to harvest honey. Me, I don't. I harvest bee venom and pollen grain. And where do I get that? From here.
Like many farmers these days, he makes use of every part of the maize. It's no wonder there is so much to consider when growing this remarkable crop.
Now, we are looking in the near future. We want to introduce a factory that makes oil from corn. You know, it is one of the best health oils I've ever heard about. Were you aware that even maize can make biscuits? We want to make biscuits from maize. Maize makes good glucose, very good. Raw, healthy, and organic glucose. Then biscuits, then we do the oil, and after that, the recent research that we have is so extremely good. And this is what I'm telling you, my fellow farmer who is doing farming for just the sake of farming. Maize produces very, very good diesel. Nabayo. Kasoli avamo amafuta ga diesel. So we want to have plenty of it. And now, we start manufacturing that. We are so we want to eat the maize from the roots to the stem to the leaves to the corn to the cock to the flowers. Actually, after realizing that this maize is the second richest pollen grain plant after sunflower, we started bees. I want to tell you, we are making a lot of money from just you see that flowering thing? Oluyange. We make a lot of money from oluyange than from the maize itself. A kilogram of pollen grain is at 280,000. 1 kilogram. And each hive I have gives me, from maize, each hive I have gives me half a kilogram each month. So today we have 15,000 hives. Oluyange lugenda okuggwako nga nina sente mmeka. That is maize. For you, you are just looking at kasoli wabisatu wabina. I don't care even if kasoli is bisatu. I still have profits. So if someone can understand how beautiful this maize is, they will know there is a lot of money. We want 10 square miles come next year.
Obed acknowledges that pests and diseases are still a challenge, but he is confident they are being managed well and there are simple, effective measures in place to keep them from spreading.
We are doing mixed farming, and it being mixed farming, it means we have now the living pests that we cannot kill using pesticides. The goats, the cattle, and those animals that we harbor at home, the domestic animals, so they encroach on the maize sometimes. Also, the other thing is the kasanyi, how do they call it? Caterpillar. The worms usually attack us. However, kasanyi does not kill the maize. You see, this has been eaten by kasanyi. This is kasanyi, worms. But when it rains, the kasanyi dies. So it only attack us when there is no rain. And if the worms attack and the rain delays or the water delays, the kasanyi might kill all the entire farm. Now, the other thing that we face, of course, is the limited supply. Yes, we have limited supply. I have people that want 3,000 tons monthly. 3,000 monthly. Now, 3,000 times 12, that is about 360,000 kilograms, rather tons. 3,000 times 12. That is a satuka kag. A satuka kaga times 10. That is about 3 million something, 600 million, rather kilograms. Now, if we add that to the market that we have, we are going to be short on supply. So how I wish farmers would understand. That is why next year we are doing 10 square miles. Right now we have 2, but next year we are doing 10 square miles.
Uganda may be blessed with fertile soils and shifting rain patterns, but even in the cattle corridor, dry spells are inevitable. During such times, the team occasionally steps in with irrigation support, though for the most part, they rely on what nature provides.
We use irrigation, but seasonally, not all the time. Uganda is blessed again. So I migrate my sprinklers and my irrigation systems. It is not permanent, but for you to operate very well in Kenya, don't go very far. To operate very well in Tanzania, you need irrigation. In Uganda, even without irrigation, you can still survive because irrigation has just been deployed 2 years ago. But all the other years we were successful still. Only that now we can do more seasons than one. So if sunshine comes or drought comes, that is when we bring the sprinklers. That is when we bring the water to water our what? Our maize. But in a season like this, it's natural. We are just enjoying God's favor.
For the few challenges on the farm, our sponsor Bukola Chemical Industries Limited recently introduced Metrozine Gold, a product designed specifically to help maize farmers. We shared this with Obed, who was very familiar with its effectiveness.
The first time, because this maize is not yet up, you can use a general killer of anything. So by the time the maize gets up, already these other weeds have been killed. Then the second time, because the maize is here, actually it is very easy to use a tractor. You put in a big drum, of course, the same thing that we use for irrigation. It is like 40 meters long, 40 feet long. So it sprays around, but it is selective. It doesn't kill this, it kills the broad and the other things. It is selective in its nature. You can see there is no, it is clean. I will not weed again until the day of harvest. Maize doesn't make loss. How does it make loss? When you don't know what you're doing. What is luck? This is how I define luck. I got lucky that I'm doing maize. But what is luck? People look for blessings, but they don't know what blessings are. Blessings mean luck. Luck stands for labor under correct knowledge. If you don't labor, you don't get the luck. If you're laboring but under wrong knowledge, still you don't get the luck. So it is labor under correct knowledge. So when I got the correct knowledge, I am defenseful. I am not defenseless. I am defenseful. I don't make loss in maize. I still make money. Nasikiliza. Then also I have experts. We have the pesticides, we have the weeding systems, and we do it timely. One of the biggest problems is not actually the pests in Uganda. One of the biggest problems is late weeding. People do late weeding. Whenever you see your maize is not as dark as mine here, it has to be dark. But whenever you see it is somehow light green, just know you're finished. And that is only because of late weeding. Whenever maize compete with the weeds, finished, game over.
We are so sun-kissed, so we're going to take a very short commercial break. When we return, there is so much more to learn about maize.
The other challenge alludes to policies affecting farmers. He believes the government has made some efforts but could do more by creating stronger policies or at least fully implementing the ones already in place.
Then also I think the government is not supporting us at any time. But I don't blame it because we are supposed to support the government. We the farmers are supposed to give them money. They don't have money, but they should set us policies that encourage us. We don't want donations, but we want policies. Policies that encourage me to export my maize, value-added maize. Taking a kilogram of maize here to Dubai should be very easy. If I go to Dubai and get my access and people accept to take in my maize, why should it be hard here? Those are policies that they should make for us. Oh, of course, we can't fail to thank them for the tax holidays and what, but if that comes in, we are going to bring in that foreign exchange adds a lot to the business. There is a lot that has failed, but also there is good that has been done. Were you aware that in the agro-consortium insurance, there is billions of money put there for me to go and use them if I take on insurance? I'm supposed to pay 7% of my worth, but I go and pay 3% simply because government has paid 4%. That is there. You go and use it. Agro Consortium. Google, go at their offices in Nakuru. So insurance covers me whether you set it on fire, whether the Kasani comes and eats up everything. I am still covered. I'm not going to make loss. Again, the word that I always tell my fellow youth is that, my fellow youth, please and please, take charge of your life. Who says that if you're from an orphanage, you must leave orphans? Who says that if you are 30, you should think first when you're in your 16 years, teenage years. Think of what it will be in 35 years. Because I want to promise you, at 40 you're late. If you clock the 4th floor, you're late. Great things, the great men, Alexander the Great was the conqueror of this world at 25 years. King David killed Goliath that had tormented Israel for many years just at 15. Why do you put everything you have in school? Think of what is happening outside the school, because the best school is the school after school, not the school in school. So, ladies and gentlemen, agribusiness, it is going to be very hard for you to manufacture a better Rolex watch. It is going to be very hard for you to manufacture a better iPhone. But it is going to be very easy, just it is like it is easy for me. It is going to be very easy to grow a maize that you only can grow, because YPA breed is only here. And if you have it, you have our access. YPA goats breed, still it is here. And I am beating South Africans, I am beating Tanzanians, I'm beating Kenyans, I'm beating every African country, or even the Arabs. I am beating them with the kind of meat that I put in the market. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's embrace agriculture, because each house, even if you're the president, you need maize. You need food. You may not visit the doctor a day or a year, but you can't miss visiting me, the farmer. Who's the manufacturer of food? I am the manufacturer. So why not embrace this? Yet you eat every day. Are you meaning that it is easy to work at Sheraton, but it is hard for you to start a restaurant like that of Sheraton? Ladies and gentlemen, it is high time we took control, learn from Ibrahim Traore, learn from any African rising star, and grow. Be aggressive. Don't live ordinary life. You cannot achieve extraordinary things using ordinary systems. Youth Platform Africa is where we come from. Try to look for us and you see how we are trying to change. Last time we had goats at Sheraton on red carpet. Now you are joking. Goats were every feria. Gwebikulemia gendo runde mbuzi. Kati zeziri ku Sheraton gwejota naba kulira mmere.
Tonight on Farming Opportunities. If you are growing maize or planning to, then this is one tip you don't want to miss. Fall armyworm may be small, but the damage it leaves behind? Quite the opposite. Left unchecked, it can turn a promising field into a farmer's nightmare. However, with the right approach at the right time, you can protect your crop and your yield. So how do you stay ahead of the worm? Here's what the experts recommend. Before application, start with scouting and do it regularly. Walk your fields, get close, and look out for the early signs like tiny holes, rugged leaves, and any unusual feeding damage. The earlier you detect an infestation, the easier it is to manage. During application, timing is everything. The best time to apply dodiphenus is as soon as you detect an infestation, especially when the larvae are still young between the first and third instar stages. They are more vulnerable at that point and the treatment is far more effective. Also, always read and follow the instructions on the product label. That includes application rates and safety precautions. You want to be effective, but also protect your health while at it. After application, your job isn't done after spraying. Head back to the field and check how effective the treatment was. If needed and if the product guidelines allow, you can reapply after the recommended interval. And here's a smart tip for farmers with large fields. If the infestation is only in certain patches, spot treatment can save you time and money without compromising control. For effective use of Metrazine Gold in maize, target to apply Metrazine Gold when weeds are 2 to 3 leaves for best results. Shake the bottle well before mixing and follow label instructions to mix appropriate amount of herbicide with water. Coverage is important. Ensure weeds are adequately spread to prevent patches of weeds not killed. Add 5 ml of golden drop per 20 litre of spray mixture to enhance uniform spread, penetration and faster kill.
Well, that's all we had for you today, but don't worry, we are still on this farm, and next week we get to look at the bees. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm crazy about the knowledge and the gold that might come from it. Keep those comments coming in, hashtag NTV Seeds of Gold. Do not ignore that QR code on your TV. Scan it, talk to us, we'll talk back, and we'll do as you demand. Or we'll try to, at least. Thank you so much for watching. I am Sheila Nawafri, your host as always. Don't touch that remote. Up next is Weekend Edition. See you again next week.